Alright, everybody, this is round 3. So, once this goes live, we're excited to bring this to you guys. I got Danny Zen. Hopefully I can get him on this time. So, if you can hear me when you jump on, drop a like, give a hi, give a 5, and let's get this party fucking started. Let's shake things up a bit. We got some cool topics to talk about today. So we're going to talk about sacred plants for healing, the shamanistic way. So I'm going to pull up Danny real quick, and let's get this thing rocking and rolling. Alright, I just invited them in. Let's go ahead and invite a few more people. Alright, let's see all pops out. What's up, Sarah? What up? Hey, I tell you what, Sarah. If Danny doesn't get on this time, me and you will just talk about Blue Flow together. And our different experiences. I'm gonna wave to you. And hopefully we can get together on Sunday and have a good time. Hope everybody's having an awesome night. I know. It's been a wild ride. I'm glad to see you're finally settled in, though. That's super exciting. You've got your temple building right now, so that's fucking awesome. I'm still working on mine, so almost there, though. I'm getting close. Alright, let's see who else gets on. Oh, man. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, that'll be nice. I guess this is part of like the gratitude part, right? It's like you're just building this eternal gratitude, like while you don't have it, and you're like you have this vision in your mind, and you're constantly thinking about it. And you're like, man, when I get to that water in the middle of the desert, I'm gonna feel awesome. I'm gonna bathe in that shit. I'm gonna fucking, drink it, piss it, love it. That's that's kind of how I feel right now. I'm just wandering through the desert, and eventually I'll find some water. I mean, it's been going pretty good. So one interesting thing is that so all my coworkers started getting into like numerology and stuff. I don't know why, but like astrology, and like they're always looking up this shit. And at first it was all like fun and games, right? It's like, yeah, I'm just gonna learn about. Yeah, the journey is the most important, exactly. And my coworker, they were like, yeah, I'm just gonna learn about this stuff because I guess they saw me like talk about it. And now like everything's crumbling, like their whole worlds are falling apart, and it's like they don't know what to do about it. They're like asking me like, is it the stars? Like, what's going on, Cal? Like, is it like a move phase? Like, what's happening? Why is everything falling apart? And I'm just like laughing, I'm like, fuck, they don't know yet. You have to be destroyed to be rebuilt. Oh man, how do I break this to them? Well, I guess they'll just find out on their own. They have to go through the wreckage. That's like the first step of like learning about all this shit, right? Like, you can't just be a dabbler. You have to figure it out. Yeah, I don't see you, Danny. I know, right? I remember that girl that came over to your house a while back, and we did the different meditations and the rituals with her. And I remember she was asking, what was she saying about getting started? And we were talking about how, like, yeah, once you start, you got to keep going or you'll suffer. And I can tell she got kind of like freaked out about it. I was like, I mean, it's just like Manly P. Hall says, you can't just be a dabbler in the sciences. There is no room for dabblers. You have to go in if you're gonna go in. Because once you open that fucking door, you take the red pill, you took the pill. I don't know. Gotta be willing to die and be reborn. That's what it really boils down to, I guess. But I'm still waiting on Danny Zen to get on. What's up, Lindsay? Let me see if I can invite him again. Danny's a shaman, so when it comes to... There we go, Danny. Yes. Let's see if we can get this bad boy on. Oh,
Hey,
seeing that beautiful face. It makes me feel so good.
what's going on?
What up, sexy? How you feeling?
Alive?
Dude, it was so good to see you last weekend, man. I was so happy. We had such a good time.
Yeah,
It was cool, man. And their new place, the United Shamans of New Tomorrow, their new place is beautiful.
it's beautiful, man. It really is. It's
Yeah,
it definitely has like this new it has so much more space in nature-like environments that it's just easier for the mind to go into the process of whatever medicine or uh meditation you're coming to, you know.
yeah. You
Hey,
can.
what's up, Johnny?
What up, guys? What up, Jeremy? What up, Johnny? Yeah, man. And it like just like you said, there's more space, right? There's like there's more mental space and energetic space. Like you can feel the difference. Like you can feel that there's not any constriction there. It's like wildflowers growing, man. That's like what's happening right now. Like these different wildflowers are
Exactly.
just growing, and there's so
It's
much.
a little paradise here.
Yeah, dude, it was beautiful, man.
Yeah.
I was so impressed, and when I was walking with Brooke, and she was just describing me the vision of like what she wanted to create. It was like lighting up in my mind. I was like seeing all the sweat lodges and events being there and music and it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy because a lot of times we don't appreciate the openness until you see the vision, and then you're like, wow, this can be so much.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Mm-hmm. Cause like it's funny because that same realization can come from like many things, and like the interesting thing to understand from this is that regardless of what's the trigger or the catalyst for this, we're literally opening like the the capacities of your overall spirit, energy, body, mind, and soul to receive more information. So that's why the monks sit down and meditate, or certain indigenous tribes they go to caves and they just meditate. It's because when you completely cease to move and you like disappear for a period of times, even from yourself, while being on yourself at the same time,
Yeah.
it's like it's like an everyday training to increase the range of space that's gonna intake and receive this high vibrational information, you know.
Well, and that's the most important part. I think what you said there about like your energetic space, like your sphere of sensation. Like as you begin to take in more light, whether it's from medicinal substances, whether it's from meditation, whatever it is, like your sphere actually expands to be able to take in more. Your container, how you contain that light keeps expanding. And I think it's that having that field and that open space is what allows it to take in more energy and more energy and more energy.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's cool, man. And
and run it more efficiently, you know, like because that's what it everything comes down to when we get into these processes of like healing and self-understanding and expansion. um it's just a matter of neutrality, man. It's just a matter of neutrality, what slowly opens the door for this transformation, because um it is it does is a transformation, like your physical structure change, it transform itself, your mind space, the geometrical configuration from where these thoughts, things can exist and thrive, it's gonna change, it's gonna be altered, it's gonna be destroy and reconstruct. And so the same thing with the energetical body. So when our electromagnetical fields are like, they don't have any resistance in the bodies toward, and you have work to transform yourself into a point where you are uh, a super clean and clear channel for electricity and energy. It's when the explosion happens. It's when we can finally understand and intake love at its highest potential, its highest capacity and forms of heal and create life.
Well, yeah, and I think that's the most important part is, you know, what you just said about being able to destroy and rebuild. You know, I think a lot of times in spirituality, we get to a point to where we're like, yeah, life is great. Like I feel really good. And I like my spiritual beliefs. And you see this with a lot of dogmas and religion and stuff. I like my spiritual beliefs. I feel good where I'm at. But there's this ever-growing sense to expand, and a lot of people don't realize like the first part of expansion is kind of like a releasing. It's you can't expand without releasing. And it's like the purge during medicines. You know, it's the same concept. Like you have to go through that in order to keep expanding.
Yeah,
That way you can take in
yeah,
more light. And the minute we become okay with that, the minute we become okay with suffering, become okay with letting go of things that no longer serve us, is the minute we can keep taking in more light into that container and keep expanding and expanding.
it's so cool. It's so cool that you say that. Of it, that's because that's one of the things that I have been in common the most with patients that go through the Bufo various medicine, is that a lot of times we want to let go of many things, and we think about it, we talk about it, we we make an effort to create this reality, and sometimes it's not happening, and we get frustrated because it's like, well, if I already set my intentions and I'm doing my work, how is that this self-destructive pattern is coming back again, or this lack um, of understanding of your goal and your mission? It's like sometimes the awareness is there, but then you get lost again. And what we gotta understand is that that's why I love so much this medicine, and why I have seen this to be a very a very common pattern but easy to break, is to medicine is gonna make you let go,
Hmm.
either or, regardless of, no matter what that is, like, because we have things we want to let go. At the same time, there are deeper and deeper and deeper layers of unuseful information that we have carried for some reason. And so Bufu is gonna come by jumping and get you into its spell, and it's gonna alter your state of existence in order to experiment what it feels to consciously let go of literally everything.
Yeah. Okay. So
You know?
so let's get into that. So if you could, because we've got quite a few people on here. What is Bufo? So just from your perspective, what is Bufo, and what are some of the things you've noticed with people, your patients, taking this medicine?
Yeah. So it is a toad. The bullfold varius is a toad that grows in the Sonoran Desert, and this toad lives inside of the earth during I believe it's 10 months, and 9 or 10 months, depending on the rain seasons. And these toads, they only come out to breed and to eat during 2 months, sometimes 3 months, depending on the seasons. And in this process of the frog hibernating and being exposed to a strong electromagnetical currency from the earth, and then working together, working along with the sun and all these elements in the earth, and they create alchemy, an alchemical process. They produce this substance that happens to be um, a current substance already existing on the human body. We the humans, we have 5 meo DMT. We really do, in our lungs and in our central nervous system. That's why there are many, many, many ways and techniques of people that makes you get into the same state through our breathing processes, through our agitation, through our charging your body. When you do this catharsis, these extremely energized and active meditations, you are uplifting the voltage of your energy. And what this is doing is it activates, um, it wakes up the whole capacity of the central nervous system of being conscious of its job and what it's doing. Therefore, there are no tensions or blockages in these pathways, and you start producing this substance, and your brain help out to produce even more, and then you get into the trance state. The Bufal various can be described as samadhi or sudden enlightenment
Ah,
because it
okay.
takes you to that state. It takes you to that state. It gives you birth to. It gives birth to what you really are, rather than the ideas that you have from yourself. And that can be challenging because it is a responsibility. To be honest, it takes courage to um, to jump into the unknown, because even there's nothing to be afraid for. It is a way for us to understand the limits of the mind. Like if we feel all of these repressions and blockages on on the moment of the medicine, or even before that, that's we can use that as an exercise to understand how our mind patterns are working and where are we operating from.
So I just want to throw this out there. The universe favors courage,
Yes,
above all.
yes,
So I just want
yeah.
to make sure that's clear. The more courageous you can be in jumping into the unknown, the more you're going to learn
Courage
about
and a
yourself.
good heart. That's all
Yeah.
you need. Courage and a good heart and an open mind to just it. It's like a parachute. If it doesn't opens, it doesn't works.
Yep.
So if the mind is open in the process, you will definitely has gonna have a more understandable and controllable experience.
Okay. And what are some of the feedback you get from people just from their different experiences?
Hmm. After many, many, many processes of different medicines and different meditations and live ways to get into trance state, and the the most valuable thing that I can come up with in this regard is that thing that we're constantly looking for is looking for us. And it's
Ah.
happening right now. And it's happening right now for here, for the people writing, for the people listening, for us, the speakers and the listeners. It's we are co-creating a reality, and in this reality, the only thing that is in common is one link of connectivity, and that we are all a part of the same thing that's happening that we're looking for, but it's happening. And then so we're looking for it so often, so with such an urgent sense that sometimes we forget it's happening right now. So whenever you lose yourself, whenever you lose your core, whenever you don't feel that you're living the life you want to live, or your thoughts are not in harmony with your lifestyle, or the way you speak is different than the way you feel. Like it has many dimensions and layers uh, towards where this can go. There's many, like it's easy. We have to be like it's easy to get lost in the game of the forms and the illusions. I Every time I close my eyes with or without the medicine, I get into states and processes, and I have visions quite often, and sometimes just visuals as if I was on a medicine. And
Because
yeah,
you activated that part of yourself. It's just like you were saying
it's
before.
beautiful.
Like these
It's
medicines
beautiful.
aren't these medicines, no matter how you put it, they're not adding anything new to you. So I think that's something a lot of people
Exactly.
have to like. It's just like you said.
Exactly.
It's just activating something that is already within, right? It's just bringing it to life.
Totally.
And once you,
Totally.
it's like learning how to play an instrument, right? Like once you learn how to play that chord, like you remember that chord for life, and you can keep playing that chord over and over and over again,
Mm.
and you can
Mm-hmm.
keep playing that same tune. You're like, oh, I remember what that song sounds
Totally.
like. So when you go into
Totally, man.
meditation,
Totally.
you start vibrating at that
Totally.
rate. But
God.
yeah, um,
It's magicful, I will say. So whenever you find yourself in these situations where you're lost, or you feel that you're not living at your highest potential, living a lovely life and a prosperous life, in whatever sense that means to you, um, it's because it becomes a hard process when we believe that we have to seek for it.
okay,
It start coming easier if we change that mindset and we start perceiving how it is already happening.
yes, okay,
How these things that how this I wanna be in tune with the higher dimensions, and I wanna get access to the Akashic records, and I wanna time travel, and I want to biolocate people with my mind and know where they are, and I want to put my hands in somebody and see how they get healed. You know, all these things, if we just embrace them and set the intention for them to happen, but just doing without doing it makes it happen, because there should be a worker doing the job, but not a control of the job, or a guideline for the job. That's the beauty of it. When you allow this to be unfolded by itself, that's when the magic happens.
well, and see, that's the most important part. Just like you said, when you set an intention, especially when you put an emotion behind it. Let's say if I do some kind of meditation or ritual, and I have an intention for what I'm doing, and I set it, and I put all my energy into it, it has already happened. That moment, I put my intention into it, and I formulate that very concise vision of what it is that I am and that I
Mm.
want. It's already happened. The problem is between it manifesting and me setting the intention, the ego of uh, not being able to control it, the timing of it, the ego of doubt, fear, frustration, these are all the things that keep it from actually manifesting. So these are the things that actually create blockages between the intention and the actual manifestation. So it's
Mm-hmm.
said that after you set this intention, you want to go into a Zen-like state to where you're either focusing on the next project, because it's already done, right? Like I already set the intention. It's done. I need to focus on the next
Exactly.
project and I need to be in a
Exactly.
Zen-like state, be completely present in the moment. Because if I focus too hard on that thing before, it means I'm doubting that it'll come to fruition.
Mm-hmm.
I have to keep moving to those next steps, whatever those
Exactly.
are.
Exactly. And that's where I was coming from with when I started speaking about all these visions and visuals that I get. They are beautiful, right? They are amazing. It's wonderful to just journey by closing your eyes, like it really is. But at the same time, it's like in order to stay focused and stay sharp and go deeper, we have to just allow that to be or not to be, whatever that is or
Yeah, yeah,
not
yeah.
is. So it's like they are happening, and that's it. These things are happening, and then you remind yourself neutral, impersonal, and then that's when you start getting deeper and deeper and deeper, and then you can get access to to different ways of existence, different ways to, like the other day, dude. It has happened to me about I'm gonna say like 4 times, doing biomagnetic therapies for some of my patients, that when I when I'm in the interview process, we and so um, I'm completing the circuit to develop the to get access to the root of the situation. um, it will come out, like whatever the issue is, it's gonna come out before the treatment, actually in a form of a joke, or like the other day I was talking about um, the sciatic nerve, and then there's a very similar word in Spanish to the sciatic nerve. So anyway, it was a joke about something totally different to that, but the resonance of the words were a guideline to get to the root of the situation, which later on when I did the scan, uh, it came out that there was an issue on his sciatic nerve.
Oh, that's
And
cool.
so, yeah, 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 it's been really wonderful, man.
Well,
It's
that's
been
cool,
really wonderful.
dude. That's awesome. So it's like it spoke, but it spoke through vibration instead of actual words, like through the joke, right? Like that's speaking through tonality, like that's speaking through actual energy instead of actually words. So it was like it
Yeah.
it was like it came out in the right way because that was the way it was supposed to be told before they even had to tell you anything. They didn't even have to tell you anything. It just eased out. It was just like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
erupted out of them. That's cool, man.
Completely. Completely.
That's awesome. That tells you, man, that how we say things is even more important than what we say.
Mm-hmm. Well, like I said, I can't wait for it, man. I'm excited. I All I can do is just give my heart and
That's
my
cool.
energy and see what life creates out of it.
So, okay, so you've got two ceremonies you're doing this weekend, right?
What is that?
So you've got two ceremonies you're running this weekend, right?
Yes, yes. It's gonna be Saturday and Sunday, and usually starting by 1 p.m. Maybe a little
Okay.
bit earlier, depending on the time that people start showing up. And then again, one on Sunday, it's starting at 1. and sometimes they extend longer than expected depending on the people and stuff.
Okay. Okay, I see.
Hmm.
Um, so all right, so if people need to get in contact with you, if they're interested in it, they just message you on Facebook, shoot you a message, say, "Hey, I'm interested in participating," right?
They have to reach out to Brooke, who is the organizer of the ceremony,
Okay.
and throughout they can either go to her website, I mean her Facebook page, which is USNT, stands for Universal Shamans of the New Tomorrow, and then she's like the creator, and then you can contact her through that, or her information is in her website, in her page, like her phone number and all that, dates.
Okay. Sweet. So, um, great. So if anybody's interested, I recommend it. Highly recommend it. All right. So I want to get into this a little bit. I wanted to talk about my experience with Bufo. Uh, I
Let's
just had
do it.
I just had my first experience. What was it? Last weekend?
Last weekend, yeah,
Yeah. So it was my
on
first
Saturday, I
experience.
believe.
Yeah. So it was completely unplanned. I had no intention of doing any Bufo that night. I had no intention of doing anything, honestly. Um, I just showed up because I wanted to hang out, see the land, and see everybody. And you know, whenever I was first offered to do the Bufo, the first thoughts that ran through my head were just like, I don't know, man. I wasn't planning on this. When the ego starts saying like, "Oh man, this wasn't, the plan. What are you gonna do?" And then I got all these signs, man, of just you and different people and different, messages just saying, "Hey, just do it, man.
Yeah,
This is like your opportunity, man. Go do it." And
yeah.
it was
That's
funny.
what I love. Like psychonauts, people that want to heal no matter what, or people that is thirsty for life and existence. That's
Yeah.
the energy, man. That's the energy.
Yeah,
Definitely.
bro. Yeah, bro. Because, with that kind of stuff, I usually take my time with. I'm not usually in a hurry to go do some medicines and stuff. It's usually like a special occasion, but that night turned out to be a very special occasion.
Mm,
So, so, um,
yeah.
I guess it was just already planned, right? So
Maybe by the universe.
yeah, exactly. That's why I try not to control things. I try to just, sometimes you just gotta let go and put your hands up. Um,
Uh-huh.
so when I went into it, you got to set an intention, right? So I heard about all my friends doing it, all the people that you've, had as patients and that have gone to the ceremonies, and they've told me about their experiences. And a lot of them were about love. A lot of people had very heart-opening experiences about being able to connect with themselves, like self-love,
Hmm.
and the love of others, forgiveness, just connection of the whole world. I've heard some people say it was like about creation and sexual energy, like being able to connect on that level. So, with all these things flying around my head, because you got all these different scenarios, my one question was like, what is love? And that
Mm.
is what I went into the experience with. I was like, okay, I'm gonna find out what love is, and I'm gonna see what this means. So the first hit you gave me, I was just like, I felt this warm feeling in my chest, and I was like, oh, this feels nice. I was like, this feels cool. I was like, I'm okay. I'm not leaving anywhere. I'm like still present in my body. So like, this is nice. Okay. I was just trying to resonate with it. And then I thought that was
Yeah.
it. I thought that was gonna be it. And then I honestly thought that was gonna be it. Then you came by for the second hit, and that was the game changer. So
Oof.
when you came by for the second hit, um, I took the hit, and all of a sudden I started vibrating. So I started doing this hum.
Hmm.
And what happened was, as the energy started unleashing inside of my chest, um, when I was projecting this vibration, I was channeling the energy into a specific dimension. So as I changed my vibrational tone, the dimension shifted and expanded. So I went from first expanding to Earth and seeing what that was, then to the universe to seeing what that was, and then to the demigods, so the universal. So I was able to see all the different demigods, and I was able to
Wow.
look into them. And then I expanded beyond that. And then the message I kept getting was, you are absolute good and absolute evil, omnipotent over everything. And
Mm-hmm.
as I kept expanding, it kept showing me this power, like we all have, not just me, but we all have this power of omnipotence and dominion over our reality. And the trick is
Mm-hmm.
really to know, like, our position in the reality and how we can interface with it. And it's only through this position of seeing yourself as more than just a human being, as more than just the earth, as more than just the universe, beyond conception is our vantage point as humans. And I can see that we're absolute everything. I was just looking at all of it
Mm-hmm.
and I kept changing my vibrational tone. And as I was changing my vibrational tone, the power just kept growing and growing and growing. So it's through that vibrational tone that you're like a musical instrument and you're attuning to the frequency. So as I changed that vibrational tone, I expanded and changed the dimensions I was shifting into and I was growing into. And it kind of
Mm-hmm.
looks like a Vesca Pisces. So you know how
Mm-hmm.
energy comes from the core of an apple and it spreads out and it comes out the sides and then comes back through the middle and out the sides. Like you have the
Mm-hmm.
seed in the middle and the energy is like, but it's coming
Mm-hmm.
out both. It's like a fountain spewing out energy from the
Yeah.
top of your skull, and then it
Yeah.
comes out and around and hits the floor, then comes back up through the spine. And that's what the energy kept doing.
Mm-hmm.
It kept going in this cyclical pattern of like expanding. So as I was imagining the energy being channeled through my middle pillar, I could feel myself expanding through those different universes. Beyond just the 3D reality, like these demigods, these fucking archons, these fucking like these beings that are out there that are way more powerful than just what we think is out there. And but we as human beings, what I realize, we as human beings, we have a very special role in this, because since we have to go through pain and suffering, a lot of these beings that live in these different dimensions don't experience real pain and suffering. They don't experience the hardship of the human experience. And that gives us a very special power to have dominion,
Yeah. Yeah.
over these entities. Whether you
Yeah.
call them
Yeah.
good, you can call them good, you can call them evil, whatever you want to call them, they're all out there. But we as human beings, because we go through this human experience, maintain this suffering gives us so much power over everything else in the universe, because it's just like me and you were talking about. Remember how we were talking about when I was there about how we chose to be in this reality, but we were also chosen at the same time?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, we were
Exactly.
given special privileges and rights to be in this existence right now because we were here, put on this place to make a difference. We were here to express our true power and to take sovereignty over our lives and take dominion
Mm-hmm.
over who
Yeah.
we are.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. That's very interesting. That's very interesting. And like it is such a beautiful
man, can you guys still hear me? Can you drop a thumbs up if you can still hear me? I think Danny went. I want to know if I did I go out or did Danny go out? Okay, I can still see you, Sarah. My bad. I guess he stepped out. Um, oops. I know, right? What up, Johnny? How you guys liking this so far? It's cool, right? I love talking with Danny and like all these different people, man. It's just mind blowing. The lizards, the lizard people.
They keep breaking up my lives. These damn reptilians, man. They don't want this kind of information getting out. Oh no, these humans are becoming sovereign. We can't have that. No way. They're supposed to be slaves. We made them as slaves. Oh well, it's a new age. And you know, we're owning our shit now. And yeah, too badass to be allowed. Yeah. I'll tell you what, man, all these archons, there ain't nothing scarier than a fucking motivated human being. Ain't nothing scarier than a human being with fire in their heart. And I think a lot of these archons and demigods are starting to realize that their parasitic relationship with our existence is about over. And we're not taking any more of this blood sucking, predatory bullshit. So, yeah, welcome to the new age, right? All right, well, I don't know if I can get him back on. I'll see if he tries to add. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. Uh, hope you guys have a beautiful night. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. And we will see you guys soon. And we'll have more details on the Heyoka Festival. We're partnering with USNT. So we're going to be throwing some meditations, some shamanic drums, some cool divination. And we're going to open the gates, man, and have some fun and experience. And that's what it's all about, experiencing new things and expanding ourselves. Exactly. That's what this is all about, man. Constant self-realization. You never reach the end. You never. You just keep expanding, expanding, expanding. You keep running through like head first into everything. And you break down and you rebuild, you die and you come back and you it's like a song, right? Like it reminds me of like a movie. Like I always try to think of myself like I'm in some kind of movie, right? Like, there's all these bad stuff happening and things fall apart, but then the hero comes out in the end and becomes victorious and slashes down the demons and then you go back home and you relish in your accomplishments and then all of a sudden you get a message in the mail for another adventure and it's just the song we're all living. We're all living this dance, this song, and we just got to keep moving forward. But yeah, love you guys. Have a good night.